Hi, everyone. I am so excited to come to you with another story of hope. And this one is, I mean, they're all super special, but I love Kristen's story in particular because all you did was read my books and follow me online, right? So it's just to show that like the self starters can do it too. You don't have to go and like coach with me or my team. And so, um, a little spoiler alert, I want to just share like the front end of this story, which is great. Kristen has had three healthy pregnancies between the ages of 43, and she will give birth to this last baby that's in her belly at the age of 47, right? Getting pregnant at like 46 and change. And healthy baby in there. You're what, 18, 19 weeks now?
21.
21 weeks.
Yep.
My goodness. This is so exciting.
Mhm.
So tell us, go ahead, like just share, you've been on the other side of wanting children. And so you know what this community like needs to hear or longs to hear. So go ahead, share a bit about your story.
Absolutely. I first want to say that, of course, part of the reason I'm doing this is because I'm in my 40s. And the reason really that this didn't come about in my 20s and 30s is I was not ready for so many years. And I wasn't even sure I was ready to start this in my 40s, but I got married in my 40s. I've kind of done everything a little bit later. So that being said, I kind of had full confidence in myself. I'm like, I wasn't ready before, so we didn't do it before, but now I'm ready. So let's go ahead and do it. But so when my husband and I started, we did experience a couple of losses. And I have to say that was before I read your book. And at the time of those losses, I was living, my husband is from Turkey. And so we were living in Eastern Turkey, which is very different from Western Turkey culturally.
Yeah.
And it is not a place where you find many Americans or really any people from the West. So I was very isolated a lot, and but we had to be there for his work. So anyway, and it was difficult because all of the things that I had to go through with my losses, I couldn't understand the doctors. My husband had to translate everything. But thankfully, the doctor that I had was wonderful, and he was very compassionate and very, very helpful. So I did find your book through a Kindle because there's nothing in English in Eastern Turkey. So I almost missed it. I was looking at how to get pregnant again or something like that. I don't quite remember. And I almost missed it. And then I saw Pregnant in Your 40s and I was like, whoa, what's this? And I went back to it. I was like, oh, what's this book? So of course, downloaded it, read it read it in less than a week.
So this was, yes, you can get pregnant, right?
Yeah, yes, you can get pregnant.
Okay.
And I have always had, not always, but since I was about 20, what I think is a gluten intolerance. And I readily ignored it for many years. and I'm also a former yes. And I'm also a former smoker. So I kind of had these two things against me. And when I read the dietary changes, I was like, okay, the mindset, the dietary changes, these are the two things that were working against me with both losses, especially the mindset. And so
because one was ectopic and one was a miscarriage, right? And how far along were you in that miscarriage?
That miscarriage, only about 6 weeks.
Okay.
But I was terrified.
And how long had you been trying that when you got those two pregnancies? Like, was it pretty quick that you got pregnant?
No, actually, I tried to time when the ectopic happened. It was right after our wedding, because after our wedding, we came to Turkey 5 days later.
Right.
And it was like the next month I had the ectopic, and that was quite scary because I couldn't understand what was going on. But so that ended completely in the end of October 2017. Okay. But then and then we tried and nothing happened for a long time. And I was like, this is kind of strange. And then I got pregnant again in May of the following year, 2018. And is that right? I forgot my timelines right. But and then once I was pregnant, we found out it was not ectopic. I was terrified. I'm like, I'm going to lose it again.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I did. But and then I remember because I was in Turkey at that time, I came home for a visit. And we tried again for several months and nothing was happening. And I thought, Okay, well, I'm not sure. It must be my age. That's the first thing I
Yeah,
went to.
yeah, yeah.
And then I found your book, and the rest is
Mm,
history. Yeah. So I became
wow.
pregnant in March. Yeah, in March.
Okay.
So that miscarriage happened in May of 2018, and I got pregnant in March of 2019 after reading your book.
And then how long would you say you were following the recommendations before you conceived? Like, was it like 6 months or so?
Nope. So your recommendations
Yeah,
before I
yeah.
conceived, it was less than 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very fast. Because I cut out because there's a lot of gluten in the Turkish diet, I
Yeah,
realized. And so I
yeah,
cut it
all for it,
all
yeah.
out. I'm a big coffee drinker, cut out the coffee to 1 cup a day, which was excruciating in the beginning, but I got through it. And yeah, and just I painted a lot, I prayed, I
Okay.
meditated,
So
you
you
know,
got into like the soulful nourishment piece
oh
too.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that's how it happened.
And so then that pregnancy carried to term, you were 43.
Yep.
And then tell us what happened next.
Then, well, I'm thinking, okay, 43, I turned 44 in March, and I thought, well, I'm 44, I'm not going to get pregnant again. Nope. Then in July, my son was born in December, and in July, I found out I was pregnant again, and I said, this thing, it can't be. It has to be a mistake. Went to my doctor, sure enough, no mistake. And my other son was born in April of 2021.
And that time you were 45, right?
Yeah.
Or
2021.
you
Yes.
just turned 46. Or
Yes.
no, you were 45. Yeah.
45. Yeah.
You just turned 45, right?
Hmm.
So the first pregnancy at 43, the next one at 44,
Hmm.
and both healthy, easy pregnancies,
Yes.
deliveries. How were they? Did you have vaginal deliveries?
I wanted to, but with Thomas, my first son, it didn't happen. I had to have a C-section, and
Okay.
it was quite honestly, that was extremely difficult what I went through. It took several months
Mm,
for me to really kind of get over the
yeah. What?
trauma of what had happened because I didn't understand also a lot of what was going on. Um, but I did. I got through it, and my doctor was wonderful. She and her staff helped quite a bit, and the healing process took a while as
Yeah,
well.
it's traumatic.
It
And
was.
would you say during the pregnancy and then even after in the postpartum of your first son,
Mhm.
were you still sticking to the plan for the most part?
Yes, I was. I
Wow.
was. I started to kind of go back to eating gluten because I wanted to try to reintroduce it to see if
Yeah.
I really did have something like a sensitivity or an allergy. And I had just started. It was probably a month maybe before I got pregnant, 2 months. I can't quite remember, but it wasn't a long period of time.
And had your period come back normal? Because it was 8 months after. So you had been menstruating what for a few months at that point?
Yeah, it came back
Okay.
in March because I didn't breastfeed for very long. I only nursed, I think, for about 3 or 4 months.
Okay. And
Um,
then it came back. And
yep,
then it was an accidental pregnancy
yep,
at 45 and
yep,
healthy child, which is
yep,
amazing.
yep.
And then now tell us about what happened next of like,
Well,
then like the feeling of like, we're done, but then, yeah, I want to hear this part.
we're done. But the thing is, too, is my husband is 11 years younger than I am.
Okay.
So my mindset, ever since I was a kid, I have always thought I was younger than I am. I even asked my
Yeah.
mom, like, "Are you sure I was born when I was born?" But
Same way.
she said, "I know I was, but still." So it's funny. He's a little bit older for his age. I'm younger for my age, so we kind of meet, and it really works. Um, and I come from a family of three, and so for some reason, I just thought, I don't know. It seems like something's missing. How can something though be missing?
Yeah.
I've been blessed with healthy children and pregnancies in my 40s with no complications um,
Amazing.
at all. Yes, they've both
And did
been
you deliver in the US or in Turkey?
in the US. I came back.
And how were you
Yeah.
treated? Was it like, high risk pregnancies or because of your
Uh,
age?
they never said that. The only thing my doctor said was I was just advanced maternal age, but she said nothing about high risk
That's
ever.
great. That's great.
Yeah.
You weren't
Yep.
shamed at all, which is nice. Yeah.
No,
Good. Good.
no, I know. I was wondering because I was wondering, I'm like, am I considered high risk? Am I just,
Yeah.
obviously I'm advanced maternal, but I
Yeah.
didn't, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, she never said anything. And I, thank goodness, had no complications. And then wait, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah. So then with considering having a third, because then you thought you were
I
done
did.
at 2. Yeah.
I did. And then I looked at my younger son, Joseph, and I was like, you know, I don't know why it feels like something is missing. Maybe it's because I'm one of 3. I don't know, but it seems like something is missing. And so my husband and I talked about it. And he said he was willing to try. He would love to have another one. And I said, well, I am too, but we need to understand that I am 46 and it may be different than the other 2. You know, there may be risks, complications, we don't know. So we decided to sort of half-heartedly try, but in my heart, I thought, I'm too old. Nobody has babies at 46 or gets
Yeah.
pregnant at 46.
Yeah.
But I thought, I reread your book and I thought, no, I need to reread this because if we're really going to do this, I need to be on board. But I did have more doubt than the previous 2 times. And I really tried hard to kind of channel it, get it out of me, acknowledge it, get it out of me, that kind of thing. And we tried, I want to say, yeah, it was for several months, 6 months. I can't remember exactly, but nothing was happening. And at the time I was in a quarrel with my sister, a bad one that we'd never gone through anything like that before. And I didn't know what to do. So again, I prayed, I meditated, and thank goodness we got through it. And it was, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. It's really, I really think the emotional is connected strongly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like opened up. You were like out of, kind of fight or flight mode, probably, and more into receptive mode.
Yeah.
And then it happened.
Yeah.
And then were you concerned, or were the doctors concerned at the age of 46? Like, how did that go in the beginning of the pregnancy?
I was concerned, but again, I just had a feeling. I usually find out very early on, like, not even 5 weeks out, because I'm so, I know when my period is coming. And so when it, I was pretty sure I was, but I don't know. I only felt, I've always been pretty intuitive. So I just felt that it was right, that I was pregnant, that it was supposed to happen. And, I knew I was probably going to get some questions or anything like that, but I'm like, I don't care. It's fine. And yeah. And so.
And what about supplements? Were you following the supplement recommendations in the book, or were you taking anything different or special?
I think I just had a prenatal vitamin. That was all I was taking. But I did start again. I started, excuse me one sec. I think I mentioned to your team that what did I do? I started cutting out the gluten again. And
the gluten and the mental, emotional stuff is what you cut out. Gluten and soy again, as I had gotten off track with that, starting getting back to myself as much as I could, praying, meditating, exercise. For something happened, and then you worked through the major conflict with your sister, prayed and meditated daily.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which there's a strong correlation. Like, the research is coming out now, but I'm kind of obsessed with Dr. Kara Fitzgerald, and she has a book called Younger You, and she just did, I don't know, a podcast or something I listened to, but discussing the research that shows even just like one brief meditation a day, the major impact it has on our biological age versus our chronological age. And so very interesting. And I think too, of like, you, even with praying, I think praying is considered a form, I consider it a form of meditation as well. And faith, I think faith and trust, right? And so there was probably this thread of surrender for you as well, of like, this is what I want, but like understanding, this might not be as easy this third go around. I am 46. We'll see what happens, right? But
Yep. And I decided to do, I had genetic testing done with all of them. And I said, I'll have it done with this one, and I didn't look for my results because I never find out the sex. And this time it's really hard. I really want to know, but I'm not going to do it. But I didn't look online to find out. And when I had my last, it was like 2 appointments ago, the first thing my doctor said when she walked in was, did you check your results? I said, well, no, I didn't want to take a chance to see, And she said, well, the genetic testing shows that, 99% is fine, or however she put it. I can't remember how she put it. And she said, I I wasn't going to say anything, but I was a little concerned just because of your age. And I said, well, and she was just very, very happy for us. And I said, you
Oh,
know, we were prepared, but I don't think you're ever really prepared.
no.
So, but I just tried to keep that at the forefront, that this, you know, this might be different and we have to be willing to go with it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I did ask her if I was the oldest mama
Yeah.
she had ever seen. And she said, no, she had one at 48. So,
Wow, I love that. See, that's
yeah,
hopeful too. I
yeah.
love that. I love that. And so yeah, I guess then for, you know, especially for women in their 40s, is there any, I don't know, words of wisdom? Or I think, because I think too, the thread that I'm hearing from you, and this is our first time meeting, everybody, just so you guys know. Kristen just reached out with this beautiful email about basically her story. Like, I read your book and had miscarriage, and then pregnant at 43, then again at 45, and then now again at 40, or gave birth at 45, and then now again about to give birth at 47. So we reached out and I said, would you be willing to do a story of hope? You know, because we'd never met, she's never coached with us or anything, and this is completely out of, you know, the kindness of your heart and soul that you want to come and share. And I know it makes me emotional. I'm so deeply grateful. But I think for all the women out there that have, like, because I feel like what I'm getting from you is this sense of like intuition, knowing you're able to listen to your body and kind of hear what it needs. You're also able to speak your truth. I think that's a really powerful piece to this story, like going to your husband, asking for what you need, also like recognizing, oh, there's this like inner turmoil between you and, you know, whatever it was, like with your sister. But I think inner turmoil is a good way to state it, and just seeing that, how correlated the emotional piece was. But I don't know, anything you want to share with everybody, like especially women in their 40s that want to have a baby at 47 or 46,
You know,
even 43 or 45.
yeah, I would just say, well, I do want to say that excuse me one second. Okay, go ahead. That you're welcome. That to never give up hope. I think that's the biggest thing. It's even when you're feeling that doubt, because I had that doubt this time around. Again, you know, kind of underlying everything, I could still feel, you're 46, you're too old. That little voice that sometimes you just can't shut up, and you're telling it to shut up and it won't shut up. So it was that. You might hear that voice, acknowledge the voice, and then just kind of keep doing your thing, you know, keep believing in your body, believe in yourself. Whatever.
Keep having sex.
Definitely. That was a big one, Aimee, in your book. I was like, aha. I'm telling you, like, it's almost like I know this, but then I read it and it brings it back to the forefront. It's like, okay, she's right. I really need to, you know, we need to do all these things. So yeah, keep doing that, keep having sex, keep finding the joy in the process, because it can be so heartbreaking. You know, and if it doesn't happen when you expect, like it wasn't happening when I was expecting during that period of turmoil with my sister, just keep trying. Don't give up. That's what I would say. Hoping, don't give up. That if people,
as long as you're menstruating and ovulating, you have a shot at this, you know? Right.
Yes. And that brings up a point too, is I asked my doctor after I had my the second baby, I said, is it possible for me to even get pregnant again? Because I don't want to have another surprise. Like, is it possible for me? She said, you have healthy ovaries and you're still getting your period. And as long as that's happening, yes, you can. And I said, okay, good to know. So yes.
Amazing. And where, can I ask, like, where are you located? Because that sounds like a great doctor. Is she?
Binghamton, New York.
Binghamton, New York. Okay. Okay, good. So a bit more of a open-minded physician. I like to hear about that. Yeah, that's so nice. So nice. Oh, well, I just want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and your and your current state of 21 weeks pregnant, which is really exciting. Do you have a bump? Do you want to show us? I feel like everybody loves to see those, or is it not really? Or are you in pajamas?
It's no. No, I did get dressed. No, it's not that. I just have more of a stomach than I usually do, but I can try to show you.
No, you don't have to show.
It's a little bit. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I see it. Hi, baby. Yay.
Little one's kicking too. So
good.
quite a bit.
Oh, well, keep us posted on how the pregnancy goes. And just thank you so much for taking the time here. I sincerely appreciate it, especially as a reader of my book. It makes me so emotional, but it's just so thoughtful that you want to share. So thank you. And good luck to you and your beautiful growing family. And yeah, please send pictures when this little one arrives. Okay.
I will. And it was my pleasure. Thank you so much, Aimee.
Oh, thank you so much, Kristen. Okay. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.